I don't know for you, but for me, 2023 has been one of the brightest year ever. This year was the year I started with discovering a whole lot of issues and things, that I would have done. It was a year where I started making the right steps. For a very long time in my life, I've been like a child. 98% of the world is like this child. This child is a child that has wishes, but they're just wishes. And the wishes they tell you with a smile, but they're not definite wishes. So let me explain what this child's wishes is like. Now you ask the child, what do you want to do when you grow up? He said, I want to have a aeroplane and I want to fly in the air. Be a pilot. Now I'm trying to say it like a child. Now, what I just described to you is what 90% of the world never outgrew. Just mere wishes. Everyone tells you, I want to have this, I want to have this achieved. I want to be this. I want to be this billionaire. I want to be this, have this successful business. But they only see it as mere wishes. Now, what separates a mere wish from, a decisive, decision is the ability to write a detailed steps. I don't like coming online to talk every day because most times I feel when I come online to talk and I tell people certain things, they feel you just want to talk. The world has been, structured in a way people avoid reasonable things. I don't know why. This is simply why you will see more people in the clubs than in a library. And you see more people, having fun at parties, than being in place of meditation. So everyone wants to live this historic life. So just like that child, I would say, I want to build an aeroplane, I want to fly. Yes, 90% of the world did not outgrow that. So you will meet someone and ask this person, what would you want to achieve in your life? Probably tell you want to. Though most people will still try, right? Quite a whole lot of people still chase. Will tell you they want to be able to get a car by the end of the year. You want to be able to get a house by the end of the year. But I'm not talking about long term. I'm not talking about short term wishes, right? But I want to buy a car. It's easy. I want to buy a house. It's easy. Like you can start improving your hustle, little things. Those are not detailed ultimate step. Those are not ultimate goals. When I mean ultimate goals, I mean what would you want your 65 to be like? Now you say that's a real question. What do I want my 65 to be like? I know now there are lots of wishes, right? So if I ask what I want, what you want this year to be like, I think probably have a good description of what you want it to be like. Now, I mean, have you sat down to think of what your 60s and 70s will be like when your kids are all married and you're alone? Have you thought of it would be like when you're 70? What house would you be in? Now, imagine none of your kids, they're all grown up, they've all gotten married. It's just you at 70. What kind of setting would you want to have? What kind of relationship would you want to have with your kids? What kind of what would you want your life to be like? Imagine yourself now being 70. Like me myself. Now, let me start with myself. Now I'm 70, and it is the Danokec group, like we all know. It has rose into billions and fame, and both my kids and my grandkids, everyone is learning courses that would help them be part of one of the angles of Danokec group. Whether they go for the petrol section or they want to go for the fintech section or the software development or is it the fashion or the agricultural department or there are a lot of departments. And kids grow up knowing this Danokec group, which is a billionaire brand, has someone in every field. That means even if they don't want to work for that is company, they want to work at any company of their choice. One of daddy's friends to daddy's friends will be able to put them at every position. Where my kids and great grandkids, because I know I will live through them, right? I will live through them. You don't really die. You live through your offspring. Yeah, just the same way, yes, sometimes that your ancestors live through you. Yeah. So, what would I want to see in the next 2 to 3 generations of Dannyokec? I cannot really influence what will happen those generations, but for the immediate generation and the next to come, how do I mentally condition them so my legacy doesn't fade? Because what will it profit me now? I drive for the biggest cars, stay in the biggest apartment, and I die. And then my generation follows to be a poverty stinking bitch ass peasant. I don't think I would like that. So, like I said, I will live through them, right? You don't really die. Your mind lives on. Now, you're not going to stay in this world forever. I hope you know. And there will be points when you won't have anybody as well. Oh. So, in your 70s now, what would you be like? Would you be like the average in Africa, Nigeria parents who calls the children for money all the time and who has issues with people taking care of them since they're elderly and whom, would have medical issues and they're always in pain, their bones are cracking? What would it be like? Do you know wealthy people go as far as building a hospital? Mhm. There are a lot of wealthy people who has built hospitals in their house. Imagine where a billionaire built hospital to the highest standard, buys all the most expensive equipment. They're protecting themselves and their generation. Now, those kind of very big goals, the kind of goals I'm talking about, what the ultimate goal is. It's not you write little things and you okay, that's my goal. My goal is to be a doctor. Okay, fine. You know why people do not really live so much of a fulfillment is because they live with the wind, right? At the beginning, when the wind is blowing, you sweet, especially in the moment. But the human mind likes waking up. Each time you wake up, most times is when you're sad. Sometimes just imagine you're going to be in the wind and the moment you're happy, and when they realize you have not achieved so much things, you have not achieved your goals. That is when the real you has awoken. And then maybe you go drink, you go play, you go mingle people. The reward, I say the reward and you because I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to go into that now. Now you start feeling bad. After a while, you go back to the normal you're happy. Now, when you feel bad, it's because you've not achieved a whole lot. It is not just because you've not achieved a whole lot, it's because you've not really achieved something that is, quantifiable. The way the mind works, the mind is like a being. It has a purpose. The purpose is what the mind wants. Like me myself, right? I've always had the mind of being a billionaire philanthropist. Now, most people that have always had the mind of being one of the best in the medical field, one of the best engineers. So most people don't actually know what their mind chooses as a purpose because once you get to the world, the mind picks up a purpose right from why you were little. That is why you need to recondition the next offspring you have. So my brain was designed to be a billionaire, right? That has been me. Now, what has your own mind, redesigned you, or what has your mind designed you to be? Okay, now that is who you are. Now, how it works for me basically is this. What's the time? 11:11. This is almost how many minutes it's off. I wouldn't want to stretch this video so much. But what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is this. When you know your ultimate goal, you think about the end, right? Thinking about the end is, I know people don't like thinking negatively. When I tell people that, how would you want to die? You hear things like, "Bah, ah, why should you say something like that? But we all die. We will all die. Nobody makes it out of alive. So what will it be like when you die? How do you want it to be? You want to die with health issues. Now, if you don't want to die with health issues, you should start now to start checking up your health constantly. Like me myself, I said how I want to die the other day, and someone around me was so scared. Why should you say something like that? And sometimes I just see people love being in the wood, in the wind. I want to really say much because I'm kind of stoned at the moment, so I'm talking from a high place. Or let's just call this a gist today. The gist for today is put the end in mind. The end is, how will it end? What will your isolated days be like? You came to this world isolated. Do you know when you came to the world? Just when you formed as a child, you were first in your mom's, stomach. You were isolated. When you came out, you couldn't see. Your eyes were still the way it was. You were just there as a little child. Your own cocoon came. You were alone, right? You came alone. As time went on, you met people. Now, before you also die, in time to come years from now, you'll still be alone, probably in a hospital bed, in your own little space within your own self. Nobody knows what you're going through, and then you take off. So, how do you want that your ending moment to be like? Before you approach that moment, what would you want to achieve? Those are the big goals. Living in the moment is when, okay, everybody has a nice life. Like everybody has a car in the house, they want a car in the house, right? But what has been the ultimate goal for you? Right? So me, my own ultimate goal has been more centered around, being that billionaire philanthropist, that billionaire charity, that billionaire that would make a whole lot of difference. Making this money is not even for me. It's just that I've always been a nice person. So even if I've had people betray me up and down, even if I think I've had some bad experiences in life, right from when my dad told me to leave the house. I went to Lagos. I struggled. My mom remarried. Her new husband, which is my stepdad, made me leave the house. I went to school and I trained myself in school. No father, no mother. Struggled. Came out from school. When I was still in school, I was paying people's school fees. I was helping people out. I was borrowing money to people, despite the fact I don't have parents and I came from where I felt betrayed and hurt from both parents and no support from any kind of family, whether uncles or aunties. I had to walk to feed children to school. I still had the little I had to help, and now I'm still here, and I still want to become a billionaire to help. So charity, more people get. I just want to make the world a better place. So I feel that has really been the real me. That has been the mind. That was the real Daniel that got born, right? So, however, as things happen every single day to change my concept of life. I might want to wear this clothes, I might want to have the shiny stuff, I want a Rolls Royce, I want a Ferrari. I would definitely want to get that thing soon. So it leaves my mouth. Now, as I constantly want to have these things, right? It changes my constant goals, right? But what is the ultimate goal for me? So, like I said, most people don't even know their ultimate goal. Most people know what they feel they want their ultimate goal to be like. I want to be a billionaire. I want to be rich. I want to be a good father. But they don't really make decisive statement that this is my goal and this is how I intend to achieve the goal. Because it is one thing to state your goal, and it's another thing to write, a design, a plan. It's another thing to write steps by steps. How do you want to achieve this? Like someone like me now, one of the steps I want to take is to be more focused on work. I have execution problem. Execution problem because I want to execute a product. Sometimes it takes like forever to do so. Like if people who know me will tell you he's a good teacher, he's a good talker, he helps, he's smart, he has a good heart. But they will still tell you that he might not really be reliable in executing something. If he tells you he will do this, he might not execute it within that time. It's not like he's a bad person, it's not like it's not real, but that is he has a execution problem. So that execution problem is something that I'm happy. Like I've been really happy since this. If anybody told me, like you say, I'm looking at time because I want to post this video today. If anybody told me that I will be consistent and I'll keep posting one then okay gist every day, I won't believe it. I can't believe that I've been so committed to this whole process. So for me, it's a beautiful thing. I've started writing down decisive plan on being a billionaire. For me, this is to start up lots of apps that will make life easy. The country now is kind of in a very messy place. Things are really kind of bad. I want to look for a way to take stress out of people. So in return, I become a billionaire or something close to that. The truth is, everybody loves comfort. Everybody loves comfort. The only reason you don't go to an ATM, you don't go to queue in a bank is because POS had cash. So now that you know there's no cash again, what happened? Now imagine I can come up with a fintech brand and I can go take since CBN is looking for who to give money. Let CBN come and give me 10 billion naira. Let me stand and brokerage and have this app or this way that would when people withdraw money easily and everybody has cash but I think the country just really wants cash to be scarce anyway. It builds the value. So let's forget about that. If there's so much cash in circulation, it has its own side effect. I don't want to talk about that. What I'm trying to say in a nutshell is this. You know, time has really gone. I don't want to overstretch things. Okay, so till next time, see you all. So the question problem, I'm gonna work on it and get a better me. I want to head into a rap section. I want to create a rap series. I want to quickly upload this video so I can create my rap series.